Hello Earthlings! So another month is over, February is gone, and that means we're already 2 months into the 12th month of this year, and I'm 22. I think that's scary. Does anyone else think that's scary? Because I think it's scary. Today I have my February wrap-up for you, and afterwards I have a few updates, so stay tuned for those. So let's get right into the wrap-up here. This month I started reading the series that I will be rereading throughout this year, and the first book in the Septimus Heap series is Magyk, and the series is by Angie. I also finished the second book in the series, which is Flyte. I'm also currently reading the third book in the series, which is Physic, and I am more than halfway through, and since these books read super fast, I am planning on finishing this today, so that's why it is in my wrap-up, even though I'm not yet technically finished. This series is a series of 7 books, and I would say it's young adult fantasy, much like Percy Jackson, maybe for a slightly younger audience. The protagonists in these books are 10 when we start out, and they age accordingly with every book. These books are actually German, even though the titles sound English. Obviously, the original is English. I am reading them in German because I've had these books for approximately 8 years or something like that. I've read them when I was about 12 years old, I think, and I'm rereading them now because I had the issue that I bought the 7th book quite a while ago, like 2 years ago, but there was such a huge pause between the books that I couldn't remember anything about the series, so I couldn't place the last book anywhere in the series, and I didn't know what anything was about, so I had to reread it. Even though it's written for a younger audience, I really like the books because they're full of fantastical beings. They have talking rats, which is so adorable. They have dragons and magic and everything, and it's so beautiful. And what I also really like is that the author hints at the Norse mythology. We have a character in here that's called Snorri, and those of you who are familiar with the Edda will know that the author of the Edda, which is basically a book about the Norse mythology, or is the Norse mythology, is called Snorri Sturluson? Something like that, I can't pronounce. And they talk about Loki's day and Tyr's day and Freya's day and stuff like that. And you also have a lot of references to real places in our world, even though this is definitely set in a fantastical place. It deals with magic, with alchemy, and everything around that, and the magic in here is so beautifully designed, and I just like it. And reading these books is not hard work like, for instance, Game of Thrones is. So that's what I really like about this series. This is a very good series if you're looking for something very simple and very easy to read, but yet beautiful, or something for younger children that you want to get into reading. Give them this, because this is super nice. The next book that I finally finished this month is City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. And oh my god, this book was the best book in the series. Seriously, out of the Mortal Instruments, this is my favorite book. If you have stopped somewhere after the 3rd book, read on, because it is worth reading the 4th and the 5th book. And some people have stopped in the 3rd book because they didn't like that, but read on, please! Please, I beg you, read on, because this 6th book is so amazing. If you have read The Infernal Devices and like The Infernal Devices, read this book. There's one warning I have to give, and that is that if you're planning on reading this book and you haven't read The Infernal Devices yet, please do so. Do not read this book before finishing The Infernal Devices, because this book contains the most severe spoiler for that series you could ever get. And I am so happy that I finished The Infernal Devices beforehand, because you really do not guess that you get spoiled so much by this book. I cannot tell you anything about the plot of this book, and I will not do a book review because Christine of Poland Banana Books has done the perfect book review. So go watch Christine's video about City of Heavenly Fire, because that contains basically everything that I thought about this book. I have nothing more to say. The last book I've read this month is the Bane Chronicles, and this book is amazing. This book is about Magnus Bane, and it contains 10 short stories of various incidents in his long life. And if you don't know who Magnus Bane is, he is a character from the Mortal Instruments. He is amazing, he's my most favorite character. I love him, I adore him, and this was just perfect. This book explains a lot about his character. I would recommend reading this after you finish The Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices, because this definitely contains spoilers for both series. I am so in love with this book. Just because I love Magnus Bane so much. So those were all the books that I read in February, and I hope you enjoyed this wrap up. Now I have an update for you, which is basically that I have a schedule for March, and there will be regular videos on this channel and on my main channel, and I'm leaving the schedule down below so that you know when you will get in new videos on what channel, and you can watch all of them. The next video that I will be putting up on this channel will be the video of my TBR shelf where I show you what I'm planning on reading this year. So that was everything I wanted to say, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you leave a comment down there, because I love reading your comments and I love answering them, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye!